I appreciate you tuning in and listening. Today we have the exciting topic of home buying 101. So we're going to talk about all things home buying. We have the beautiful Aley Lopez with us here today, and she is one of the buyer's agents on my team who is extremely knowledgeable. So she's going to share with us some of her tips and some of the things that you should absolutely know when buying a home. And look, how many of you guys out there want to be a home buyer? Everybody wants to buy, right? Why would you pay rent unless if you can buy? Why would you pay rent if you could buy? You wouldn't. And a lot of people don't realize that buying a house right now, your payments on your house are likely going to be the same amount that you're paying in rent. So think about that. Let's say, for example, you're paying rent on a property and you're paying $2,000 a month for a year. That's $24,000 that you just gave somebody else to pay their mortgage. Why would you keep renting unless you have really terrible credit or you're just in between places or some other reason, right? But there's not too many good reasons I can think of not to buy. So a real good real estate agent will help walk you through all that process. We're going to talk to Aley a little bit about what that process looks like and some things that you need to absolutely know when you're going to buy a house. You might feel like it's overwhelming, but you can always give us a call, 1-800-440-7566. That's 1-800-440-7566. We can chat about it. If you don't get enough information here today, you feel like you just need more, give us a call. We'll help you out. So now I would like to introduce Aley. Hi, Aley. Thanks for joining me this morning. So I'm a home buyer. What do I need to know?
Okay, so this morning we're going to go over our top 10 tips. Of course, there's a lot more to buying a home than what we can cover today in our 30 minutes. We'll share our top 10 tips to buying a home so that we have a good foundation and we can go from there. Any other questions, please feel free to call in 1-800-440-7566.
Okay, so let's first talk about your agent. What's important about that, Aley?
Okay, so number one thing to remember is to use a trusted agent. You really want to hire an agent that you know is looking out for your best interest, that you know knows your market in particular. So you want to go with a local agent, and you want to hire someone who's a buyer's agent, someone who specializes in getting offers accepted. A lot of buyers make the common mistake of calling a listing agent when they see the house that they like, and trying to get their offer accepted through the listing agent. However, the reason that that's a big mistake is that you really want an agent who's looking out for you, who's going to guide you through the inspections process, the escrow process, and who's going to negotiate repairs for you should the house need repairs. When you go straight through a listing agent, their obligation is already to their seller. So you really want to have someone working hard for you on your team and advocating for you throughout the escrow process.
100%. I couldn't have said it better. And don't forget, people, the listing agent has a contract with the seller to get them the most money possible, right? And if they're willing to say, take your offer over somebody else's because they're going to do what's called double ending it, meaning they get both sides of the commission, they're looking out for their best interest, not for yours. So what happens when it comes time for inspections and all that, like Aley said, they're probably not going to negotiate for you the way that they should. And if you're wondering about negotiations, go find our streaming platforms for last week's episode where we talked about all the different types of ways we can negotiate. Okay, so should I be pre-approved before looking at houses, Aley?
Yes, I couldn't stress this more. So a lot of people start looking on Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, and fall in love with the property. But we really need everyone to get pre-approved before going out to look at properties. Number one reason is that you don't want to look at a property that may be outside of your budget. So we want to know exactly what our budget is, and then we can start working from there. When your agent sees a pre-approval letter, your agent will know that you're ready to buy a home, that you're committed to the process, you've already gone through the steps to get pre-approved, and we know exactly how much wiggle room we have when making the offers. In this market, it's super important to have a pre-approval letter because since a lot of homes are selling above list price, we want to know exactly what we need to negotiate for you and what it's going to take to get you into your home.
Also, most houses aren't going to let you in right now without one because of COVID. So you have to provide proof that you can buy that house before you even get in there. Because why would someone want you in their house if you can't buy it and you're just looking because you're nosy? They won't. So you have to have that letter. You have to have that letter. I know you don't want to get your credit pulled, but guess what? It's not going to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, buying a house is the biggest purchase you're going to make in your lifetime. So having your credit pulled and having maybe a ding of 1 or 2 points really isn't going to change much. And it shows your agent and the seller that you're committed. And I haven't shown a property in the past year, over a year, where I wasn't required to send in an acknowledgement form saying that we know COVID exists and a pre-approval letter.
Well, and also what to your point about, that your agent knows that you're motivated. Right now, it's so hard to get people into homes that, and if you have a really, really good agent, they ain't gonna mess with you. If you're not qualified, we're not gonna spend our time with you. We're not gonna waste our time. We love you and we'll help you be ready when you are ready, but it doesn't make sense to go drive all around town with you to help you find a house if you're not even qualified and you don't know what you can buy and are not comfortable with your payment. And that brings me to our next point, which is, what's more important, what I'm paying for the house or what my monthly payment is? What would you say, Aley?
That's an excellent question, Cyrene. A lot of people get fixated on the purchase price and will walk away from a property that they love, a property that they could be happy in, over $5,000, $10,000. And so what I wanted to really drive home the point that every $5,000 in a mortgage equals less than a $20 difference in your payment. So once you're looking at these purchase prices and you're paying $5,000 more than you thought you were going to pay, and I understand that can be overwhelming. However, when you really look at it, a $20 difference, $40 difference in your payment in exchange for your happiness, for the right home for you, a home where your family can grow, really is really worth it. So I would really love to stress that what's the most important is your payment. Because the interest rates are so low right now, we can afford to do a little bit more usually on the purchase price because we're saving it in interest and get you into the right home.
Yep, I couldn't agree with what you said more. And I can't tell you how many buyers get fixated on that extra 5,000 or that extra 10,000 when it's just like Aley said. I mean, it's not making a huge difference, but so many people get hung up on that part of it. So just trust us, guys. We got you covered. Give us a call, 1-800-440-7566. We'll help you negotiate that deal. We'll help you understand what your payments are going to be. We'll get you to the right lender and make sure that everything is on the up and up. 1-800-440-7566, which brings me to my next point. How do I find the right lender? Can you help me find one, Aley?
Of course. So I know we really talked about how being pre-approved is super important, and that can be overwhelming. A lot of people don't know where to start. They go down the Google search rabbit hole.
Yeah, then you get 7,000 phone calls from Rocket Mortgage. Don't do it.
Yeah, you do. So most listing agents want to see that you're pre-approved with a local lender. So on our team, we have several local lenders with a variety of programs. So once we get you on the phone, we'll go through a series of questions so that we know which lender is right for you. Mm-hmm. We know where to match you up, what programs would probably benefit your family the most, and then refer you over to a local lender that's known and trusted in our area that listing agents want to work with. I think that's a big one. So Just like there's good agents and there's bad agents, there's lenders who do everything on time and there's lenders who don't, and reputation really matters. A lot of listing agents don't take offers with like online lenders, national lenders as seriously as they do a lender that they know and trust, and we only work with the best.
Yes, we do. One of our lenders is the number one guy in the entire nation. So we got you on that. People know his name. When I'm sending in those offers, they're like, oh, it's so-and-so. And hopefully we'll have them on the show soon. But we have the people that you need to get your offers accepted and to get a good pre-approval from a trusted lender who's not going to overcharge. So, Aley, I want to buy a house, but I feel like I probably don't have enough money saved. I feel, I want to buy a house, but don't I need 20% down to buy? I don't have 20% down. Aley, help me.
That's such a common misconception. So a lot of people think that you need 20% down, or they've heard of FHA. They think it's only for first-time buyers and they can only go through this specific program with 3.5% down. Although I totally understand why people think that, that's actually not accurate at all. We have several lenders, like we just said, with various programs with programs as little as 3% down, or that have grants that will give you money for your down payment. So it totally depends on your financial situation, what area you're looking at,
Your credit score.
Your credit score. There's a lot of factors that go into these programs, but we can usually get you approved. We just need to go through a series of questions and match you up with the right program. So we're looking at programs with 0% down because you have a grant. To the sellers, it looks like you're putting your own 3% down if you have good credit. We have 3% down. Of course, we can do FHA 3.5.
And if you are a veteran, don't forget about VA.
VA is an excellent program. If you are a military veteran, you can get into a property at 0% down.
With no mortgage insurance and a really low rate. Okay, so Aley, I want to buy a house. I have enough for a down payment based on those programs you just said, but I kind of messed up my credit. Oh my gosh, my FICO's 550. You guys, a lot of people have credit problems. It's okay. We're here for you. We don't judge. We understand, right? You got a repo? No problem. Bankruptcy? Okay. You had a short sale in the past? Okay. No judgment here. We love everybody and we're here to help. So there might be times where we have some work to do before we can get pre-approved, right? So Aley, how do we help with that?
We'll refer you to a lender that will do some credit counseling and help get any derogatory marks off of your credit report until you qualify for a mortgage at a competitive rate.
Yep, because I'll tell you something, guys. If you have a credit score that is too low, there's nothing that can save you. Your credit score is everything. So it doesn't matter if you make $200,000 a year and you have 20% down. If you have a credit score that's like, we can help you in the 580 range, 65, I think is the lowest you can go. But the rates are going to be less favorable, and it's better to just have something at least above a 620.
Yeah, we like to call it your adult report card.
Your adult report card. That's perfect.
We want to see how active you've been in keeping up with your grades, right? So if you're actively doing some extra credit and working to boost those scores up, we can get you approved really quickly once you address whatever the issue is. I know a lot of people don't know exactly how to address those issues, but our mortgage lenders do. Once we get your adult report card back, then we can start shopping. And don't be embarrassed, like Cyrene said, about any type of repos or derogatory marks. There's no shame in our game. We've seen everything.
Yep. We're here to help. And I know that stuff happens, situations happen. I mean, people most of the time don't just end up with a 500 credit score because they didn't care or I didn't want to make my payments. It's usually something happened, right? And we all go through stuff. So don't be shy. We got you covered. Okay, Aley, so I'm pre-approved. I got my loan approval. We have a commitment to each other. I have my trusted real estate agent right here with me, my buyer's agent. So I'm out, I'm shopping for houses. I want to look at a house, but I really want something turnkey. I want it to be perfect. I want to walk in and everything to be perfect. Can I get that, please? Can you do that for me, Aley?
You can. So the things that we need to really think about when we're shopping is that we're not builders, right? So a property that we've imagined to be the perfect property probably doesn't exist. So it's really important to be honest with your agent about what your must-haves are and then what your preferences are. And we'll do our best to show you everything that comes on the market that meets that. Remember that when you're buying a house turnkey, you're paying probably top dollar in this market for that property. So expect to write very competitive offers. Some people just want to buy their new house, the house they've envisioned, walk in and hang up their clothes in the closet. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We'll do everything we can to get you matched to the perfect home. But we do ask that buyers stay open-minded. There's not an abundance of inventory, so we'll make sure to get you matched with something that has all of your must-haves. And then once you walk through the property, a lot of times a house that maybe wasn't what you pictured feels like home. And there's nothing like that feeling.
Yeah, and a lot of times, you guys, I have had so many buyers walk in and be like, oh my gosh, why did they paint it red in here? You guys, we can cover that up.
Paint's cheap.
Paint and flooring is going to be the two cheapest things you can do for your house to spruce it up, and it makes a huge difference. If you're thinking of selling, guys, give us a call, 1-800-440-7566 for some more tips on how to get your house ready for sale. But if you're a buyer and you're out there looking, call us, 1-800-440-7566. And when we go to show you the homes, we'll help point out things like, yeah, I know their furniture is disgusting and ugly. Why do we care? The furniture's leaving, guys. Try to look past those things, because sometimes the houses that have the red paint and the ugly furniture are actually you're going to be able to get a better deal on those because the agent didn't help prep their clients to make the house look agreeable for everybody. So one of the things we're going to help you do is look past some of that stuff.
Yeah, so on the seller side, Cyrene is really great at guiding sellers as to getting away from their personal preferences and making things neutral so that all buyers can picture themselves in the home. But as a buyer's agent, I've had so much feedback about, oh, the furniture is too big, or I really hate the lime green bathroom. But those things are going to change. We can easily paint. Paint is cheap. The furniture is going to leave and you can redecorate the way that you want. That's part of the excitement of getting a home, is making it your own. So we really need to be open-minded and look past the seller's personal preferences to be able to picture ourselves in the home. Do we like the neighborhood? Are school districts important to us? Is parking acceptable, especially with condos? Things like that.
Is there a washer and dryer in the unit?
Yeah, for some people, in-unit laundry is a make it or break it.
Yep.
I totally understand. So
It is for me.
Same. So those kind of things are the things that we really want to focus on, because we can paint the bathroom.
Yes, we can. And if you want to put a new vanity in the bathroom, I have referrals for that. So don't worry. And good ones, not just like, some grimy person who's going to come overcharge you. And we will never do that.
No, our vendors are the best.
So you're pre-approved. And let's say you get pre-approved for $10 million, okay? And you're like, oh my gosh, I got approved for $10 million. And you're so excited. And then you start going online, you're looking at $10 million homes, but you want to make a payment of $2,500 a month. That's your max payment. Guess what, guys? We're not looking at $10 million homes. Just because you got approved for a certain amount doesn't mean that you have to buy in that amount. So what we like to do is, like she said earlier, like Aley said earlier, fixate on the payment. So at what payment are we comfortable? We're comfortable at $2,500. Okay, well, what loan amount does that equal? Because I may be approved for more, but I want to stay within the loan amount. Why do you want to do that? You should buy a house you can afford, guys. In real estate, you're going to have fluctuations in the market, right? The prices are going to go up, the prices are going to go down. But as long as you can afford that payment, there's no reason for you to freak out, because long term, we're in Southern California, you're going to be fine. So buy something you can afford. The second reason is we want you to keep your home. We want you to love your home. We don't want to get a call in a year saying, hey, Cyrene, oh my gosh, I need to sell because I overbought my house, right? We don't want you to go in there getting buyer's remorse and be like, oh, why did you sell me this house, Cyrene? I can't afford it. Now, there's some people who don't listen. So it's like, okay, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that.
Then you make a choice, yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that. But if you're listening now, I would urge you to listen to that advice, that buy something you can afford, because long term, we want you to keep your house. And then later down the line, we'll teach you how to rent that property out and buy a new one. So now you are building your portfolio and building wealth. And that is one thing that people don't necessarily associate real estate agents with, but it's something that you can associate our team with. So give us a call, 1-800-440-7566 for more of these great tips. Okay, that was a lot from me. Sorry, Aley.
No, that was great. Yeah, let's fixate on the payment, make sure we're comfortable with the payment, and then eventually in this industry, rents are going to go up, but your mortgage is going to stay the same for 30 years. So it would probably not be difficult down the line when you're ready to rent it out to get a renter in, because you can offer competitive rent.
Okay, one big deal, right? So now you're in escrow, you're going to go, and the first thing we do is we order a home inspection, right? And I've had some clients tell me, my uncle's a contractor, it's cool, I don't need to do a home inspection. Or, oh, it's fine, the house looks cool, I'm good. Seriously, guys? No, don't. I don't want to pay for a home inspection, it's too expensive. Okay, so you're not going to spend $500 to find out that you have a $10,000 problem?
That's the best $500 you'll ever spend.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. If I want to skip the home inspection, Aley, what would you say to me?
Even if your uncle's a contractor, they're not a licensed home inspector. So you can invite your uncle to come with us to the home inspection.
And he'll probably drive the home inspector crazy, but it's okay.
We don't mind that part. But a licensed home inspector is not a contractor at all. So they don't fix anything. They don't have a dog in the fight. They're only there and specifically trained to point out every defect in the property, even if it's just like a broken electrical cover. So a lot of buyers get overwhelmed with the 45-page home inspection report. Guys, that's totally normal. It's their job to go through, nitpick, and take photographs of everything. And so they check, a general home inspector will check all of the general things that they can see, right? So they're gonna test the HVAC unit. They're gonna climb up on the roof. They're gonna turn on the dishwasher. And then if it seems like there's a bigger problem, then that's when we get an expert in. So if the dishwasher is making weird noise, we'll have a plumber come out and do a follow-up inspection. We get the report, we do really thorough inspections, and then if there's any safety issues or deal breaker issues in the escrow, that's where having an agent that works for you, for your best interest, that negotiates for you is super important, because now we've got to go back to the seller and present these issues and ask for repairs or a credit. So it really is the best $500 you ever spent. I don't typically see repairs that are less than the home inspection fee amount.
Yes. And when we are reviewing that inspection report, again, do not go and freak out. Well, I would usually recommend in the beginning a general home inspection, a termite inspection, and a sewer inspection, unless it's like a condo. But we're out here in LA. We got a lot of old houses. We want to check the sewer because you don't want to come to the house, move in with your furniture, and
boom,
there's poop backing up into the bathtub. Not fun. The other thing I want to ask you, Aley, is, okay, I'm getting my home inspection and I really want to make sure they check the plumbing and electrical. Are they going to get inside the walls and check those things for me?
Not at all. So a home inspector is only able to inspect things that he can see. They do have equipment to check the electrical for you. They'll check the main panel. They have a tool that they insert into the outlets to see which ones are working, which ones are not. And if they suspect that there's a larger problem, then we'll schedule an electrician to come out and assess the situation. But they don't do any damage to the house. They don't move any furniture. They don't open
And hopefully you
walls.
won't either.
Yeah, nothing like that.
Yeah, tune in for that on our real estate nightmare section. Thank you so much, Aley. It's always a pleasure having you here. So let me ask you, if I was gonna have to pick the top 3, and now we just gave you tips. We said we were gonna give 10, but I don't know if it was 10, but they were all good tips. So if I had to pick 3, of those top things that you just said, what would the top 3 most important things be for buying a house? If I could take nothing else away from this show today.
Stay off of Zillow until you have a pre-approval amount.
Stay off the Zillow, period.
Do not skip your home inspection. And the most important thing is use a trusted real estate agent, because your trusted real estate agent will guide you through the other 2 things.
That's correct. And we'll guide you through the contract and every other 700 million things that happen when you're buying a house. If you guys saw how much went on behind the scenes during a transaction, you would be like, how do they ever get this done? And how are they getting it done in 30 days? Because there's so many moving parts. It's not just us, it's escrow, it's title. And the real estate agent, escrow needs to know escrow's job, but the real estate agent needs to know escrow's job and title and their lender and. So if you don't have an agent who's like, oh, I don't know about that, you have to call the lender, I don't get it, I don't understand, then you're calling the wrong agent. You need to call 1-800-440-7566. Again, 1-800-440-7566. You're gonna follow us on social media. My Instagram is Cyrene Properties. That's Cyrene Properties, plural, Cyrene. There's not another one on there, it's just me. And on my Facebook, again, Cyrene Properties. The other great thing about Aley is Aley speaks Spanish. So if you're a Spanish speaking person and you would like a Spanish speaking agent, we have that for you. And Aley, can you tell us in Spanish what your Instagram handle is?
@Sirena Morena.
Boom. See, that sounded nice. Say it again.
That's just the @ symbol. It just sounds fancy in Spanish.
Oh, I like it.
Sirena Morena.
Sirena Morena. She said it better. but you can follow her
It's
on
in the
Instagram as
R's.
well. It's in the R's. So you can follow her on Instagram as well. Check out our website, www.cyreneproperties.com, Cyrene. Okay, it's about time to wrap it up and sign off for the day. We got lots of showings to do. Tune in next week for our next show. Make it a great day, guys.
Bye guys, happy house hunting.